So I'm gonna just talk to y'all like I'm just talking to y'all. I don't even like mean we live and all that, but I'm just like we having a conversation. But like when I stepped into this arena, I didn't even know I wasn't even like heavy on social media like that. Like I was just posting like everybody else, just posting random BS or whatever. But I said, I want to be different, you know what I mean? And I started getting heavy into, reading and investing, looking into it back in like '08. So a lot of my friends ain't know I was into it though. Cause I'm ripping and running, cutting hair. Cause what they say about the barber. I was that typical barber. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he trapping, he got all live. The girls. Yeah, we live.
All right. So welcome to Tweet Talk episode 112. I am your host.
Episode Tom Brady.
I am your host, Raphael Husbands. You can follow me on Twitter at Work Money Life. You can follow my co-host, Charles Oglesby JD, on Twitter at Real Todd Billion, because he is the only one. Accept no substitutes. Welcome to Tweet Talk, the Black Wealth Podcast, where we break down financial tweets and talk about building Black wealth. And today we have a guest by the name of Don Bucks of Rappin. What up, Don?
What's happening, fellas? Appreciate y'all having me. Like, it's an honor. Trust me.
Yeah, man.
Trust me. Shout out to Todd Billy. Like, yeah. Yes. Y'all playing.
We just wrapped up Black Friday. How was Black Friday for both you guys?
We haven't done one of these since Black Friday.
Actually, I think we did.
Oh, we didn't actually talk about it though.
Right.
What's the topic
of
conversation?
This is the first Black Friday. I ran like hella sales. It's the first Black Friday I ran hella sales and ain't go shopping. It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything. I did not buy anything.
I didn't. I bought a course.
You didn't buy anything at all?
I bought a course.
I think I bought a course.
That's it. That's the type of shopping I like.
I didn't buy anything though. I didn't even look at buying anything on. I didn't look at anything.
That's crazy though. It's different this year.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not quite as weird as last year.
Yeah,
but it's still kind of weird out here in these streets, man.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Right, man. So Don, let the people know who you are.
Oh man, I'm Don Bucks, creator of Rappin' Dope podcast and the whole movement. Like, and it's crazy because, like I was saying before we went live, that before I even got into this, financial literacy, and social media, like I didn't even know this whole ecosystem existed. You feel me? Because in 2019, when I started rapping dope, I didn't really get a lot of traction. Like a lot of people was looking at me like an alien. Even to this day, there's a lot of people that still, trying to get their head around the investing thing. But definitely in 2019, I didn't get any traction. Family members, I like what you're doing, but people wasn't really rocking with me like that. You feel me? And it's just dope to see in 2020. Unfortunately, it had to happen like this, but the pandemic opened the floodgates of everything that I envisioned for Black people, and learning how to invest and having these conversations like this, Tweet Talk podcast. Like, it wasn't too many other people talking like this on no podcast back in 2019, and it's super dope to rub shoulders with people like y'all. So that's a little bit of backdrop on how I got started and where I'm going from here.
All right. Charles, man.
Oh, but to add on, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Former barber. Former full-time barber. I cut hair now because I want to, but I used to do it full-time with my dad in the family business.
That's how you do it. I do it now because I want to.
Yeah, that part.
Right,
And it was crazy because we was talking about it in the mastermind earlier about working, exchanging your time for money. And it's different now because, I went up a little bit on my haircuts when I show up. Now they $40. But now it's like I go because I want to. It's not because I have to be there. And I'm going tomorrow. So that's probably my one day a week. I usually go in about one day a week just to show love. Feel
me?
What's your Twitter?
My Twitter is Rappin Dough. Every platform is Rappin Dough. Facebook, Rappin Dough.
You gotta spell that out. You gotta spell it out for the people.
Oh, what's on the shirt? RAPPIN DOUGH. So underscore in between the rapping and the dough on Instagram, but everything else is straight Rappin Dough.
So for those that haven't seen the ads, I've seen the ads. What happened with that, man? The whole
you want the story?
I mean, you don't gotta tell us the story if it's
you want the story. Oh, like I said, I was that typical barber. Like I was running around, people already looked at me as like, oh yeah, you the barbershop owner's son. Oh, you gonna inherit that. So, and I was kind of like leaning on that a little bit too, because in the barbershop industry, you get paid every day. So I've been cutting hair since I was 15. And a lot of people don't know I'm 43. You feel me? And they look at me like I'm some young boy, but meanwhile, I'm 43 years old. Just what people didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you was like 25, man.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm 43. You know what I mean? And I wasted a lot of time because I always had that to fall back on. Like, I look back on it now, it's like, all right, because I always like, all right, I mean, I got a business to fall back on when it's all said and done. But I wanted more than my dad. You know what I mean? I've been living under my dad's shadow for a lot of my life. I wasn't always brought up with my dad, but when I did come under my dad's tutelage under 14, 15 years old, I always got called Little Mike. And my dad's name is Mike. My name ain't Mike. You feel me? So for a lot of my life, I had to like, oh, you Mike's son. Oh, what's up, Little Mike? And I wanted my own identity. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of tough. Your name is not even Mike.
And my name is not even Mike. I got an older brother named Mike. That's Little Mike. And I used to always have to correct people and come off like an asshole. Like, yo, my name ain't Mike, bro. It's my brother's name. Like, so I lived under that for a long time. You know what I mean? And people looked at me, it's like, oh yeah, you Little Mike, and oh, you spoiled or whatever. Like, nah, I ain't even like that. I'm making all these dollars. Like, yeah, I learned the skill from my dad, and that's fire. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I wanted more than my dad. I was one of them type of dudes. Like, I want more than the barbershop. Because I don't mean to cut you off, but one last point before I let you ask your next question is like, if you want to know what your future is going to look like, I don't know where I read this or where I heard it. If you want to know what your future is going to look like, take a look at your superior or your boss. Because if that's what you're trying to move up the ladder, that's what you're going to have, his life, their life. And I didn't necessarily, my dad is not poor or nothing like that, but I want more than my dad. So it's like, that's what I always looked at is, all right, you know what, I'm trying to branch out more. That's why I went to college, but we'll get into that later.
So yeah, I would say that it's kind of why that's important is a lot of us want to go further than our parents. And so that's why it's important for us as parents and future parents to set the bar high and do dope stuff. Because I mean, I could have just got a job and had a professional career, but I was like, you know what? I want to go a little bit further than just having a professional career. And so that's what landed me where I am now. Because I mean, my mom has a professional career. I could have just did that, but I want to do more than that. So
yeah, so I want to gear a lot of my messaging around that, like people that know they got more in them.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's like the good thing is your father wasn't a bum, so it's like
I mean, he had his shit.
Right. So it's like,
I mean,
so
yeah,
it's like
but he was
that
guy. Like
he wasn't a bum, and you like look at your father like everybody want more than him. Like imagine if he was just some dude that was like could barely even have a job, or, like didn't have nothing going for him.
Yeah,
well, it's easy to say, it's like easy to say like, yeah, I want more than him, but that isn't necessarily going to be much. You don't have to do much to do more than somebody that ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something real quick. You ever had like a regular job?
In high school.
All right.
I had this little had a few little BS jobs in high school.
Well, let me ask you this though. So even though you wasn't really a job type of person, you still said that you kind of like fell back on this idea. You knew you always had a like a plan B. Like you knew you could always fall back on the barbering. So
right.
do you think your situation was kind of similar to like people that do have a job and fall back on the so-called security of a steady paycheck? Do you think your mentality was similar?
Yeah. Yep.
That's interesting.
But my thing is always this: until you're fed up with something, you're not gonna make no moves. Until you get fed up with a situation or uncomfortable with a situation, you're gonna stay where you at.
Yeah. When did you get fed up? When did you get fed up?
I was about when I started the process of not wanting to cut hair for the rest of my life. I think I was about 24. I was about to go to the Army right before 9/11. I was about to I stopped smoking weed. I stopped doing I cleaned my, you know what I mean? Started working out. I was going. I was like, because I'm gonna use the Army college money to go to college, and I'm gonna use that college, whatever I'm doing in college to fund. Because I always think, stepping stones. I don't know why I thought like that. Not like I don't know where I learned that shit, but I'm always thinking of using something to go to the next level. So, mind you, 9/11 didn't happen yet. It was right before it. So I did all this leading up to it, and a week before I had to go to take the physical for the Army, 9/11 happened. And I'm like, oh, bitch, I ain't signed up for this. I know we going to war. I'm just trying to sign up for the college money. Yo, I found the biggest blunt I can find and dirtied up my urine ASAP. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm keeping it all the way funky. I dirtied up my urine ASAP. But I followed through with the physical so they can take the dirty urine and disqualify me. You're not sending me to war. I'm trying to get this college money so I can get my entrepreneurial on. But yeah, so that's when it started. And that fell through. And then I tried again in when I was 26. No, 28. It was 28 when I finally went to college, finally got accepted, and I got grants to go to college. So I actually went all the way through college. It took me 8 or 9 years to get through college because I was going part-time. And I think I only came out of pocket about $200 for college. But I finally made it to college, and yeah. But while I was going to college, that's when I caught the charge. Like I said, I was running around the street and all that while going to college. Had to supplement my income. I could have got a job, but I wouldn't. I was always used to being my own boss, being a barber. So I'm like, I want to try and do a job. So caught a charge right before graduation, but I finessed it whereas though I was still able to take my final test for what I was going for, which was applied science. And I was still able to get my degree and everything before all the house arrest stuff started transpiring. So I was blessed for that. So yeah. While I was on house arrest, I came across Todd Billy's course. I don't know. I think it was Brandy done put me on a whole lot of stuff. So I'm not sure if it was Brandy that put me on. Shout out to Brandy Hayes, network with Brandy. I'm not sure if it was her, but like I said, I was totally brand new to the whole online financial literacy, Black wealth I didn't even know it was more of us or more of me. And I came across it and I was like, yo, this is crazy, because one of my customers used to always come in the barbershop and tell me about his friend that was trading options. Every time he came in there, I was like, yo, so explain it to me. Because I was already investing. He was like, yo, you need to look into options. This is before the pandemic. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna look into it. And it's crazy. During the pandemic, I'm sitting in here on probation and all that. Can't really drive or go nowhere. Came across that shit. And I just dug in. I dug in. This is when they were sending out the stimulus checks, right? Whenever they sent out the first one. How much was the first one?
Like 1,200, something like that. 14.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
12 or 1,400.
Yeah. So I used half of it to start start the Rappin LLC, and I used the other half to start trading options. So I dug in with the course, like I still got the original notebook, dug in, and I think I said, man, F it, I'm going in. It was like a week. I watched the videos over and over again. And I'm like, I'm going in. And long story short, I'm gonna say it took me about 4 to 6 months, and I made about 10,000. It was about 9 and some change, about $10,000 off the stimulus check.
Nice.
that's crazy. Off of the stimulus check. And that's when the whole thing was create your own stimulus. We were like, man, take the stimulus, create your own stimulus.
Facts, like, and it changed my whole idea about money. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, because it started with like when I made my first $25 and I sold it. I was like, yo, I made $25. I ain't going nowhere. And I was like, yo, this is different. And I started, making bigger plays. Like, all right, let me try $200 this time. All right, let me try $500 this time. And I started like just going from there. And yeah, but I'm gonna keep all the way transparent. I got cocky. I ran it up to 10, got cocky, made 2 $3 grand plays. One was Netflix and one was Domino's playing earnings. And jammed me, both of them. Lost 6 bands in one day. Cause like I said, I was growing my plays. I'm like, and that was the biggest one that I was like, all right, you know what? There's something else I'm missing about these options that I gotta go back in the lab and learn. So I'm down to 4 bands now. So I started going into YouTube and looking at entries and supporting resistance levels and top-down analysis, and started adding that into my repertoire. So then over between then and now, I got that back and added 10 to it. So I just took 5 from that, and now I'm trying to get I'm looking to get a car on hire car, just to start, you know what I mean? Making the money, make more money.
That's dope. What I like about it is,
I said a lot there, but digest that.
Right. But what I like about it is those L's push people. If it's just green, if you only see good days, you never really feel like you have to get back in the lab and study and learn more. Ooh. And so that kind of like, it's motivation. It's a different kind of hunger at that point. You're like, bruh, I don't ever want to feel that again. I don't. Right.
Pause.
And that's what gave you the ability to learn enough to start teaching it and having your own content, your own community, all that stuff. Because it's those claps, it's the L's that give you the most incentive to really get in the lab and learn. The L's get you in the lab. So
man, so that's the part I don't be wanting to leave out of my content, because you got a lot of people just thinking it's magic. And it's like, no, I put a lot of screen time in. Like, if you just tap on my laptop right now, I got 5 charts pulled up right now. So it's like, it's that part that people don't see that you're doing. Like, all right, they see, oh, you done posted this, posted that, but you're not seeing. And I want to capture that. I'm gonna have to get me a photographer just spend some time with me, like to capture just the stuff that I be doing throughout the day. People think I just be sitting around doing nothing. Like, you know, female friends, yo, what you doing? I'm doing the same thing I was doing the last time you texted me. I'm in the lab. Like, I don't do nothing else. Like, unless I'm coming outside doing some shopping and want to see some humans, I'm in the lab. Like, I got everything I need in the crib. So when I see people outside all the time, when they be outside all the time, you either ain't got nothing going on or you don't like being home. I like being in the crib because I be getting it done in here. Like every time I go outside sometime I get in trouble. So I'm noticing the pattern here. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me stop playing.
And these days, it's expensive to go outside, man. Everything costs double what it used to cost.
Don't get me talking, bro.
So let's jump right here on Tweet Talk, the Black Wealth Podcast. We talk about building black wealth and breaking down financial tweets, especially from our man Charles Oglesby, aka Top Millionaire, Mr. 3.7 million in the pandemic. And Charles,
I don't like that intro, but I was gonna say what's crazy is when you posted the Twitter, I went and looked at your Twitter page, and I was like, dang, we really did have Xavier on this show. I forgot about that. Like we've had some episodes. We had the episode 4-5. Like we really been doing this for a while. What episode is this again? Who knows?
112.
112.
So when did y'all start Tweet Talk podcast? Because like I said, I wasn't even in the loop in 2019. I was just stepping into the waters.
Yeah, like June 2019.
Yeah.
Word? So y'all was like 3 months before me. Like, and it's crazy, yo, Ty. I think we share the same birthday.
Oh, really? August 20th?
August what? Yeah, 20th. It's my birthday, fam. That's dope. Crazy. I see you post that. So it's me, you, and Derek Grace. We got the same birthday.
Yeah. I think Call Me 100K is the same, or it's around that time.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's wild. Leo.
Donald the Voice is August 20th also. Donald the Voice is August 20th. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, all right. See, you know what? It's all confirmation all around the board. What's up, Raph? What we got?
Yeah, so Charles, this does start off with this tweet. I forgot who tweeted it. I don't think it's a really well-known person, but somebody tweeted, "Your employer does not give one single fuck about you. Start that business."
I mean, that's kind of my whole motto. It's been my motto for the longest time, but it fits into my current, I would say, initiative, which is just the whole freedom play. It's like I want people to get free, and you can't be free and also have a boss. And so I got to give you all the different reasons for why you don't need that boss and why you need to be out there on your own in the wilderness with all of us. And so that tweet just was like, it was fire. And I was able to use it as marketing. So a lot of times what I'm looking for is I'm not just looking for my content to use as marketing. I'm looking for other people's content to use as marketing. Because if it's relevant and if it's fire and if it has potential to get a bunch of likes and a lot of engagement, I'm using it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to slide an ad right behind that post every single time. Because you know what sucks? It sucks to have a viral piece of content that gets a lot of likes, a lot of engagement, and there's no ad behind it, or there's no call to action. It's just like entertainment. Like we ain't here to entertain.
You don't want to put me on that. I think you put me on that.
We aren't here to entertain. We're here to earn. We got to get these dollars. And I mean, entertainment, it can go hand in hand. We can entertain and earn at the same time. But the end all be all, the true goal here is to earn something. So
Ty, what you think about the hack of collaboration versus competition? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna say no names, but I went live with someone maybe 2 years ago at the beginning of their I guess trajectory. And I used to ask different questions, and we'll go live, but then after the fact, I ask questions like, "Yo, so what books do you think I need to read to get on your level, bro? Or what do you think I need to do? Or actually, I will pay you for your information. Like, how much you want for your mentorship?" No responses. So now a year later, we see the emergence of the collaboration. We have the circle of CEOs, we have the morning meetups, we have the the masterminds and whatnot. Where do you think the shift changed that we found that's beneficial to collab with other people that's in your niche?
You know what's interesting is I think that a lot of what drives that is when you realize that all you really have is yourself. And that's why I'm actually really big on like Republican and conservative presidents, is because like they ain't really messing with you like that. Like they ain't coming to save you, they ain't making no policies to help you out. And so we saw over the last 4 years like a huge initiative and thrust behind supporting other people, sharing other people, helping other people, because we're like, he ain't helping us, so we got to help us. And I thought that was really important, and I like to see it, and it made me happy to see that. I'm not sure that we're seeing the same thing anymore, but a lot of the success that we've seen, like people cannot deny that what we're seeing now did not exist 4 years ago. Like the success, the Wall Street Trappers, you listen to his story, this is relatively recent for him. EYL is relatively recent. Chris is relatively recent. Chris Johnson's success now versus where it was 4 years ago is not the same Chris Johnson success. And so what I would just say is that collaboration is everything. The reason why the Jews can have what they have is because they keep it in-house and they collaborate. And it's a given.
Damn, man.
Every single group, like we just got to collaborate. But what I'm not liking that
that's what be pissing me off, man.
Yeah. So it's like
when I hear stuff like that,
a lot of it is like it's not. I think we need to bring it back. That's one thing I'm trying to foster within the organizations that I've had, because it's always been collaboration. Every single thing I've done has been collaboration, except for like these newer projects with these house flips. But maybe it should have been some collaboration, because I'm stressed out over here trying to get this house flip done. But I'm gonna get it done. We will get it done. I promise you. Just like I got that truck done, I'm gonna get that house flip done.
Oh.
But yeah, man, I think it's necessary.
I do too. And I did then, but it's like, all right, everything that I'm starting to see is like, well, I thought about it already and it didn't have any traction. Now it's getting traction and just be frustrating sometimes. Like, yo, I said this.
Right. What's your take on that, Raphael?
Say that again. Take on what?
What's your take just on like sometimes, I guess, knowing the benefits of collaboration, but trying to get other people on board with it who might not see it?
Well, man, that's tough, man, because it's hard to collaborate with selfish people, man. It's hard to do things with people that just don't see the vision, and you can't really have vision for other people. Like they gotta see it with their own eyes, man. Like sometimes, like somebody said it tonight on the mastermind call. They didn't say this exactly, but you gotta live your truth and show them, if they don't want to collaborate, you move on to collaborate with somebody else. And then let them get mad when they see the other person come up.
Yeah, but who wants to, like, I'm not trying to, all right, yeah, you're going to get mad. But that's not even the goal, like to try to make somebody mad.
I know, right? But I'm just saying, like, you're not doing it to piss them off, but I'm saying, yeah, when you move off from them because they don't want to collaborate and they see you collaborating with other people and it benefits the other people, they get mad at themselves.
For example, so my dad, like I've been rocking with my dad since I was 15. So no shade, but he been hearing about what I'm doing with my mom's portfolio. I don't know where he hearing it from. I guess my little brother is showing him what I'm posting on the internet. Now, when I come to the barbershop that one day a week, he like, yeah, I heard what you, you think you could do something for 4,000? I'm like, Pop, man, you know I can't. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and it took for other people because he knew what I had going on. It took for other people because he came clean. He was like, yeah, I just had to make sure everything was everything like before I gave you some money. I was like, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be the people that's close to you that'll trust you less. Right? It's funny how that works.
Well, I mean, money's money. I mean, nobody
Yeah,
want to
but it'd
lose.
be
Nobody want
people
to. I
closer
hear
to you, like you see what's going on. You right here versus somebody that's on the internet that's just spent $200 with you. You'll have somebody that's right there with you that's kind of like side eyeing what you're doing, like
you. Yeah. Well, you know what?
until they
I heard Dave Ramsey said before, like once somebody's like wiped your butt, they don't want to hear your advice on sex or money.
oh, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
crazy, right?
And even though you weren't with your father like from the beginning,
Right.
he
Yeah, I mean,
you're
just
still
that
his
part.
kid. You're still his
Yeah.
kid. He
But I
remembers
showed him
you at
them
15.
numbers. I showed him them numbers. He was like, first he gave me a band. He was like, yeah, do something with that. So I put that to work, right? I showed him the report on that. He was like, you think you could do something with 4 more?
I would say one of the
Oh
things is it's
man.
even difficult when it's like male to male. Like moms are more willing to listen to their sons, but you'll see like
Right.
moms and daughters will clash a little bit. And so like dads
Definitely.
and sons, it can kind of be like that, I
We ain't
found.
clash, but it's just like I mean, for some reason, it's just like he was rooting for me because
Right.
last Thanksgiving, it was crazy. It was last Thanksgiving or last Christmas. Um, I was going through my YouTube or something, and I came across what's LeBron James boy name, light skinned dude with the little
Marvin Carter?
afro with the twist, Maverick Carter, right? Mind you, I already got the Rappin trademark in process, so I'm not worried about nobody stealing my name, right? But how about he came out with a podcast, or they came out with a podcast called Kneading
Mm-hmm.
Knea, like kneading dough,
Right.
but
Like
it's
making
like a
it.
double entendre, like I did, like
Mm-hmm.
rapping dough. He did kneading dough. I said, Pop, yo, look at this. And it's
Never.
sponsored by Chase. So I was like, yo, get up. Like, look what they trying to do. He's like, don't worry about it, son. Don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? Because if they looking up them, yours gonna pop up next to it. Don't
Yeah.
even worry about it. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, that's crazy because I know they had to see rapping dough. Like, stop playing. They had to see it. How you came up with kneading dough without seeing rapping dough? Stop playing with me. So that's why I'm glad I IP'd it. And I be talking about IP, like, yo, like your ideas, monetize them, man. It costs a couple dollars, but it's worth it.
Speaking of that, you had a tweet and it said, it was a fairly recent tweet. It said, peep how rappers and entertainers had to turn to our methods of getting money during the pandemic. And he said, they're like, how much they paying dividends? What's a digital product?
That's a fact. Because I know you've been, I don't know if you have been, but I've been seeing like Lil Baby pull up on Aristotle and you know what I mean during the pandemic. Like they learning about stocks and all that
Mhm.
during the pandemic. And it's like, yeah, because they couldn't do no shows. They can't do no it can't be in like studios is closed, everything closed. Like they had to revert to what they should have been doing or what we all should have been doing from the beginning.
Mhm.
And it's dope because at the same time, it's like a lot of people, we became those people that the people eyes is on. We the new rappers. I think I heard you say that like once somewhere, like, yo, we the new rappers, like so to speak.
I
We
did.
got the eyes. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
got the eyes. It's like now they want to be us. And that's cool. That's cool. because that's what we need to be pushed anyway. Start talking about that because he talking about big. What's his name? Young Dolph he bought a foreclosure for his kid's birthday every year. It's like, yo, why you wasn't talking about that, or was you? Because I wouldn't listen to his music like that. Maybe he was. I mean, don't misquote me, but why you ain't talking about that?
Yeah,
I need to hear that. And they diss Jay-Z for talking about what he be talking about. Like, oh, we need the old Jay-Z. We'll go get my old CD.
right.
Yeah. Now, Charles, you had a tweet where you said, I was today years old when I realized you pay for high-end watches with wires, not debit cards.
Yeah, because I'll be struggling.
Wait, what?
I just bought a GMT Master 2. Ooh. And I always struggle when I want to buy a watch. Like the first watch I bought on Crown and Caliber was a Panerai Luminor. It's like a $7,000 watch. And like I tried to swipe on my debit card and it just kicked out the transaction. And so you're like, how the heck am I supposed to pay for this watch if it's gonna kick it out? And I watch a lot of YouTube through the Timepiece Gentleman. There's another company called Gray Market, and they have a ton of just dope content. I've just been watching and learning about watches. And he always talks about like he's going to like send wires or receive wires. And I was like, that's how you do it. It's just a different kind of world. Like we always think like wiring for real estate, but like you wire for the watches you want, especially when it's like a 5-figure watch. And so I was like, that makes perfect sense. But I would say another thing that I think it was a tweet that I mentioned, and it was how these companies like Hublot or Richard Mille, they give these watches to Jay-Z and LeBron. And I was like, I was watching LeBron on the side of I think so. I was watching LeBron. I think to a certain extent.
Believe. Yeah.
Well, I didn't believe it. At first I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, of course. But I learned that watching the show. And the show was talking about like, yeah, like you take this watch, you give it to the celebrities, they wear it, they make it popular, and everybody else wants it. And so we're over here thinking like LeBron James just buying a $500,000 watch, and he got on one $500,000 watch this time, and then another $500,000 watch the next time you see him. I'm like, bruh, this dude got big bread.
Nope.
But he's not even spending the money on that. So I'm over here like, man, I gotta figure out how I can get a $500,000 for this watch. I need a $500,000 for the watch. He ain't even spending $500,000 on the watch.
Nope.
And even if he did, the way that these watches are set up, they retain their value anyway. So it's like you're kind of just like storing money in a watch.
Yeah, unless
if it's like a hefty
like an art piece.
Right. So that was just one thing that I realized is like, man, like they really be playing this. A lot of these rappers and these athletes who we see living these lives are really just big billboards for these companies that want us to buy their stuff.
Man, that's why XLY is going to forever pump. You catch XLY on a dip, you better go 3 to 6 months out.
What's XLY?
Consumer discretionary ETF. America is built on consumerism. That's going to forever boom. That got all the stores people spend money on.
Add not that only to your stores, watch list, y'all.
XLY and XLK. Catch them on a dip and ride it. Like no short expirations on options. Like we ain't doing short expiration. You catch XLY, XLK on a dip. Look, we got technology and we got people spending money. What else we got to do?
Disclaimer: this is not financial.
This is not financial information. Absolutely.
Do your own research.
That's just something I would do. That's just something Don Bucks would do. I ain't telling you to do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that part.
But the thing is, like you talk about, you pay for the high-end watches with wires, not with debit cards. It's like there's so many like different worlds out there. Like you don't know, you didn't know that until you actually got into that world. Like until you got that level of money and said, man, I'm about to get me this watch. So people are just walking around out here. There's like parallel universes out there. You don't even know what's going on, man, until you get into that space, which is like why the last episode we're talking about, talk to people that buy expensive things because the conversation is different. Talk to people that do different things, the conversation is different.
Right.
You know,
you had a tweet. It said, when you really learn how to trade options, it starts feeling illegal a little bit.
Oh man, yo, you pulled out my bars, bro. I appreciate you, fam. Like, hey, nah, for real. Before I answer that question, like I really appreciate you for having me on. I never even like thought what's going on right now is like, you know, pause like a dream. Like I never thought I'd be talking to you right now, bro. Like, just first and foremost, big shout out to you for everything you're doing, man. It gives me more inspiration to keep doing what I'm doing. And it's more of a confirmation that I'm on the right track. So like if don't nobody get nothing else out of this, man, big shout out to you, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So what was the question though?
You said when you start learning how to trade options, it feels illegal a little bit.
It do, because you it's like on demand. You learn it. You know your support and resistance levels. You know how to go from different time frames to the lower time frame to see where your entry is going to be for whether it's going to be a call or put. And you could do that whenever because you got your watch list. You're not all over the place. You got a watch list and you watching what you watching, and that's it. You don't have to have 1,000 stocks that you're trying to catch. If you got you a watch list, you can catch all your plays because they're your plays. It's your watch list. So it just feels different when you can just go to your I'm like, oh shit, that's about to pop up. Let me go ahead and print me some right quick. But that took time though. That took losses. That took this, and I'm still growing. I'm still buying courses. Because I'm never want to get to the point, and I don't think anybody can ever get to the point where they know everything about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's interesting because I hit a trade recently. I've been having some pretty decent trades, but this one it was just like a quick 1,500. And I was like, you know what I used to do for $1,500?
That's a fact, bro. You know how many heads I had to cut for $1,500?
Man.
I remember the first $2,000 day. I posted that joint like, yo, you know what I had to do for $2,000?
Yeah.
I just made that in my pajamas right quick. Like, and that was a milestone for me, man.
And I think as long as you stay focused and if you keep your head down, you can have way more wins than you have losses. Like in my beginning days, and I was like in it. I maybe took like one loss for every like 10 trades. And now I'm pretty much about the same ratio. And so it's like I just got to stay in it. I was like, I just got to stay in it. I was like, I might just start using this option money to take care of whatever I sell. I was using the option money to take care of Christmas. So I already got that. So now it's like I want to let me pay off the house with this option money. Let me see what I can do with that.
Oh, I would say, man, that's cool. But beyond that, like beyond options trading, having digital products, it's almost the same thing. Like you take something that from your brain, like something you have an idea today, you could have it recorded, but at the end of the day, and put it up for sale on the internet. And like 24 hours.
Fire, man. It's just so fire. And it's just hard for some people to just imagine, just to put their brain around that. It's like, yo, you can actually, because I had a whole playbook. This book right here, if somebody get a hold of this right here, this is like the ancient Greek scrolls or something. Like you get your hold on this. I got the first ideas of Rappin doing here. Like you go all the way back to the first page. Like if I ever was to lose this is what I'm saying. You got to take stuff out your head. This is the first stage of it becoming real, because it was just a thought. Now you done put it on paper. Now it's in the physical. Now you can. It's just. I don't want to get deep on y'all podcast.
People like deep on this podcast.
Listen, man.
I would say that I was watching a Gary Vee book or a Gary Vee show, and he was talking to this dude, and this dude was like, "Yeah, man, I went to dental school, become a dentist." He said, "I left school with $800,000 in student loan debt." Apparently, that's not uncommon. But he was like, "How the heck am I going to pay off the student loan debt?" He said he wrote an ebook on something, sold a bunch of copies, made enough money to take care of that. He's not even going to be a dentist anymore.
No, he didn't.
We live in such a different world, man. Like, but everything that we're getting is what we deserve. Everything that we're getting. They told us, do these things and you will get that, and they lied. And so now anything that we're getting through creating it from our mind, we more than deserve it. We're supposed to be out here making crazy bread. They say go to law school, go to grad school, and it didn't pan out. So we had to go get it by any means on whenever there's a drought. Get your umbrellas out. So
that's a fact.
Yeah.
Man, listen. And that's crazy. Yeah, and they'll say people will go be a doctor. And I'm not sure where I heard this, but they'll put themselves further in debt just to look like they're somebody. They'll be 500, 600,000 in debt, start a practice, gotta have this insurance, malpractice insurance. They'll be $1 million in debt, but they'll still go get a Benz to park in front of the establishment just to look like they're the doctor to come see.
They have to have that doctor look. I remember way back when I first read The Millionaire Next Door, and he rates like ordinary next door millionaires by profession, who's more likely to become a millionaire. And doctors and attorneys are low on the list because they got to keep up that look.
Right. The suits.
That's a fact.
The watches.
Right.
The shoes ain't cheap,
the car, the park. You got to park the dope car in front of the establishment.
Right. It's a high status.
You got to lease the car because you always need to get the new one too. So
right.
Never got a car note.
It's a high status profession, so you gotta keep up the high status. And Charles, you had a tweet. I'm not sure if you were quoting somebody else, but I'm not sure if that's you. It's like, I'm not trying to look rich. I'm trying to be free.
I was quoting somebody else, and this freedom word is floating down the timeline a lot. I'm just promote that. I think my next shirt is just gonna say freedom on the front. I'm gonna make that one tonight. But that's really the goal. It's just knowing that you don't have to go work for somebody else, knowing that you don't have to ask for a raise, knowing that you don't have to ask for PTO, knowing that whatever you want to do that you can do is priceless. It really is. Like, you can't put a dollar amount on it. You can't do nothing to quantify it. It's just priceless. And when somebody put something out there and he said something about when like life changes when you had, like he said, life changes when money's not an object. And I was like, it's true, but you still don't want to just like go buy a bunch of stuff. You don't want to take that and then go buy a bunch of like, go put spinning rims on the car and things like that. No, it's like at that point, the money is there to preserve life and never having to go back to that job stuff again. So like, we always think like, oh, I need this stuff. I need the Richard Millie. I need all of that. But at this point, it's like, I'll get that if I can still maintain the freedom. But you don't want to sacrifice. Like, it's like if you get $1 million, you wouldn't go spend $1 million on a watch. But a lot of people who don't have $1 million think that getting $1 million is about buying the watch. And like for me, before I used to think that was it. And then you get there, you're like, I'm gonna just rock this little whatever. I'm gonna just chill, get something nice. It's not like average to show that I actually have, like to that I've accomplished something. But like, I'm not just gonna go and spend it all, because if I spend it all, then where I got to go next? You got to go back to the job. I'm gonna keep where I'm at, and then build on top of that so I can get that stuff. But like, freedom is a threshold. But the cool thing is freedom is not even just about money; it's about cash flow. But the other cool thing is once you have your freedom, because you have the reserves and you've amplified those reserves, then stuff just starts coming to you. And you don't even realize like dividends hitting, options money hitting,
with it.
truck money hidden, trail money hidden. And so it's like I've been able to replace my job income by not needing the job income, and I've been able to do it multiple times over, and it just blows my mind.
Yeah, I'm trying to get where you at, man. Like, that's why, you know, I mean, I don't have your education, but I'm definitely tapped into your thought process. And my whole thing is use your money to make more money. Start where you are. Right? You don't have to have the education. Like, somebody might not have my education, right? That don't mean don't start. You got to start where you are, because everybody, that their favorite question, yo, how much I need to start? How much I need to start? No, you need to just start, bro.
Right.
Buy your first share. Buy your
What?
first course.
People struggle with that so much. Like, how much do I need to start? You just gotta start, man.
Just start, bro. I bought one share. Like, you want me to be honest? Like, I bought one share, and then I said, you know what? I like how that looked growing. Like, oh, I just got 50 cents on that. That's 50 cents.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
You know,
I wonder if I bought 100 of them, how much I would get. Like,
it's so crazy. You get even a 10-cent dividend on a stock. It's like, yo, I didn't do anything.
It will start turning. Like,
it does something to you. Like, man, I didn't work for that 10 cents. It sounds
I
silly.
ain't work for that.
It sounds silly, but it's crazy to see that.
It's just beyond us. It's beyond us.
And people, there's other people other communities that have been on this.
Mm-hmm. They don't know anything different.
For decades.
Hundreds of years, bro.
But yeah, hundreds of years.
It just frustrates me. That's why I created Rappin, though. I say, you know, ain't nobody talking about money in this way. Everybody talking about blowing it. People used to come to the barbershop, Don, what's going on tonight? Where we at? What's happening tonight? Now I got this going on, showing people how to make the money work instead of blowing it. Ain't nobody hitting Don up like, yo, that's crazy. It's crazy. Where y'all at? Like,
probably like that. Forget Don, bro. He gonna start telling you about diversifying your portfolio and shit. Man.
They don't want to invite me nowhere.
I'm just trying to get a bottle.
I'm still done, but I'm going. I mean, we're gonna talk a little different now. Like, and it's crazy that, you know, that's the pushback that we have to deal with our community. But it's okay. I'm built for it, because I was just having this conversation the other day. I was like, you got people out here trying to prove themselves. We're trying to be something. Like me, like not even on no cocky shit. Like I always been that dude. Like I've been on sports teams, and like, you want to talk girls, we can do that too. Like you want to talk like I did all that. I'm not here to prove myself at this point. I'm 43 years old. I'm already who I am. So I'm not out here trying to. I don't care what you think at this point, basically, like, because you already know who I am. People that know me know me.
Man. Oh, this guy's not 43, man.
Hey yo!
All right, I keep looking at him like, okay.
Hey yo, chill. Dead ass. 8/20/78, man. So right. I mean, so I'm like, I'm OG status. I just don't look it. So I'm like, I'm not out here trying to appease anybody super duper at this point. Like I'm super like, this is how it is, and it is what it is at this point, because you got people that don't want to, be themselves or whatever on the internet.
You had some tweets, and this is kind of a funny one. It says, you sent this on 11/21, so that was a long time ago. It says, she's too shy to FaceTime. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Ah, bro.
Oh, here we go.
Man.
The Tweet Talk Relationship Corner.
Yeah, we could do all that. So, met a shorty, right? Out, taking a break from my lab. And I like to pop out and see some human beings from time to time. So, nice young lady. Oh, all right. no kids. And it seemed like all she wanted to do was text. Like she asked me about me and she just kept following up with long ass texts. So I'm like, yo, nah, we're not about to do that. Like, you want to FaceTime me or call me? Uh, every time I asked her that, it was always some type of excuse. I'm like,
oh, he is 43. He wants to call.
Hey, yo, I leave messages.
Is that what you do, Raphael? You like to talk on the phone with her? She's like, I'm not trying.
Hey, yo,
I'm just saying, people are a little older.
Like,
we
I don't
grew
want
up.
to be
We grew up
texting
talking.
you.
We grew up talking on the phone. But I mean,
facts though, like for real. I grew up falling asleep on the phone and pushing buttons. Like, yo, you there? Like I grew up. That's you know what I mean. So yeah, you don't want to FaceTime me. Like it's all right. So
it's
yeah,
like
red flag.
You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
I find it suspicious, and especially when they got the Instagram page private.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing? Like, how you private on social media? What are you doing?
This guy,
Raphael, what's the relationship red flag for you, Raphael?
I don't know, man. That's when the mindset is on some completely opposite type of stuff, man. Like I couldn't be doing the club stuff at this. I never was into the club stuff, but I definitely wouldn't do it now. Like
ain't gotta be a club, right?
I'm just saying, like when the mindset is like
club, it can be out and about.
but I'm saying like when somebody is trying to be seen, somebody trying to go to the most expensive place all the time, want to go shopping, when they
off top,
but even worse
like,
is like loud. Like, all right, we're not going to get into no drama. We're not doing drama.
You be meeting those kind of girls, Raphael?
Nah,
hey,
man.
Where you be at, bro?
You know what, man?
I'm just curious.
You know what, man?
What state you in, bro? For real, what state
I'm in Jersey.
Yeah, he's near you.
You
right?
in Jersey, bro?
Yeah.
What part?
I mean, you got me get this dude want me to give up my location.
I mean, not the
I'm in Newark.
address.
I'm in Newark, bro. I'm in Newark.
Oh, you North Jersey? Okay.
Yeah.
That ain't even that far from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't see me and Brandy.
Yes, I did. I didn't know where y'all was.
Yeah.
What mall y'all met at?
We went to Woodbridge or something, and then one time we went to New York. We met up with a couple of dudes from the mastermind. Had lunch
she told me.
In New York.
Like, oh, word. That's fire. I need to run that back. Add on.
But Charles, you had a tweet where you said, I thought this was interesting. Legends trust other legends more than they respect other people trying to get in their pockets.
I got that from a movie. What movie was I watching? Either it was a movie or it was a YouTube or something. And essentially what they were just saying is, I guess there was somebody who was trying to get put on, and he was like, you might want to go through somebody that person already knows, because you have a better chance of networking with him if you go through somebody who he respects and he knows is kind of mutual, than opposed to somebody who's just out there trying to like get in his pockets. Because what I always tell people is, it's a lot of folks who see somebody successful and they're out there like, man, put me on, like help me out, or give me a loan, or let me borrow some money, that kind of stuff. And I just thought it was important. I thought it was a dope tweet. But what I'm realizing is, especially like as people are kind of stepping into what they're doing, is there's like a mutual respect amongst people who are crushing it. So you got like the Henrys of this world. You got like, of course, Steven Story, he's crushing it. You got Living Rent Free, he's crushing it. You got the Heart Zogs. It's like everybody kind of talks to each other. And even like in Atlanta, it's like you see all those dudes, like they kick it with each other.
Yeah, man.
And so like, I think I was talking to Monty Woodard, and he was like, man, he told me that somebody had asked him how they get into the circle of entrepreneurs in that Atlanta market. He said, go do some stuff.
Mm.
He's like, they just gonna respect you if you're out there just crushing it and on their level more than if you're just like trying to get them to get you to that level. So I think that's important. It's something we've discussed on here all the time. Like, doers respect doers. It's like, if I got a brand and you got a brand, it's some respect there. You repping your brand, like, that's dope to me. And so we have something in common. We have something that I know that you are putting your effort and your energy into an idea. And we can grow that idea by working and collaborating together, even if it's not the same idea.
That's crazy because I didn't even know it was other people out here thinking like me until I ran. I was like, yo, you voice walking. I was like, yo, this is crazy. There's other people out here talking like me. You know what I mean? So
and you found out by doing it yourself. I thought
I was out on the island. Yeah, I thought I was on the island, bro, for a nice, I mean, maybe a year. I'm like, yo, I mean, like, y'all want to invest? Y'all don't want to grow your money? Like, I don't know. But I'm glad we're here now. Like this, I'm just so excited about where we're going from here. That's the excited part. Like,
we got to talk about this car play. You said you cashed out on some stock wins to buy a car, and that car is going to buy you more stocks, and those stocks going to buy you more cars, and that's going to buy you more stocks.
That's a fact, bro. In that order. So, like I said, I cashed out about 5,600 of my 20, and I'm looking to go the Brandy route. Like I said, shout out to Brandy Hayes, network with Brandy. So she got the hire car course, the debt-free way to get into the car rental course, and basically buy a cash car, and doesn't have to be fancy because these people are not renting it to be fancy. They're renting it to work in it. So they're more likely to not only rent it for the weekend. Actually, they don't want it for the weekend. They want it for longer than the weekend because they want to work in it. So that's the route I'm going. I got three sets of eyes out looking for my car or 2 cars if they can get 2, because she said she got 2 for about 6 bands, her first 2. So I don't know, whatever they can work out, 1 or 2. But that's where I'm starting, man. I'm using money to make more money, man. Right. And that's what I like to talk about.
That is so important. And it's something that I should be doing. And it's something that even Mark mentioned. He said, don't just buy a rental property for your kid or a rental car and just like stack the income. He said, take the income from the rental property and invest it in the stock market. Like that's
dope. What I did with Bitcoin too.
Especially when your children are like young, like my son's 2, he ain't gonna need no money for a long time. So like the passive income that these properties or whatever I decide to do generates, take that money and throw it once a month, calculate how much it is, and just boom, throw it into an account and just systematically put money away.
What? Shit.
Yeah, that's
once you start seeing that happen, it's just everything got to do that.
Over the long term, that stuff adds up, man. You look at, like, it doesn't seem like a lot now, but you look at over 12 months, 24 months, plus when the market's doing what it's doing, man.
Yeah,
man.
That's the vicious cycle we need to be on.
Right.
And Charles, you had a
I need to start trading for my son.
You had 2
phones.
You had a tweet where you said small gaps become big gaps.
How did KB doing that?
And big gaps become damn. I could never get there no matter how hard I try.
It's funny because I always used to say small gaps become big gaps because when I first got out of college and I first was like working, you don't really see the difference between a lot of people. You could think completely polar opposite of somebody, but you go out into that world, you both get a job paying $40K. But like incrementally, people start getting ahead of each other. And that mindset starts to show in the little small tweaks that I don't do that. I don't go there. I don't do this. I don't listen to that. I don't watch that. I'm focused on this. It starts to widen, man. And then pretty soon it's like, bruh, like if you don't have something built, then you'll never catch up. You can never catch up to some folks who are making business income if you're making job income. An example is I was saying, like, if you have a business and that business is generating you $100,000 in a year, and your friend has a job and that job is paying them $100,000 a year. In 5 years, your business is not going to be paying you $100,000 a year. It's not going to be paying you $150,000 a year if you're doing it right. It should be paying you exponentially more if you're doing it right. $100,000 a year in your business 5 years later should probably be about maybe $2 million a year. If you're doing it right, reinvesting, improving your system, scaling, doing that kind of stuff, you should be able to get to that point in 5 years, I think. But if somebody has a job and they're making $100,000, 3% annual raise for the next 5 years, that's 15%. They're making about 115, maybe 120 after 5 years. Maybe they might be making 130, maybe if they're lucky. But statistically, folks ain't making that kind of money, man. Like,
you just need to do some hive mind shit.
We always use $100,000 as the benchmark when about 10% of us make $100,000, if that. And then of that 10%, I want to say like half of them are like 50 or older. And then the other, you got to factor in professional athletes and entertainers. So what if that percentage is like the people who are in that 40 and under kind of like sweet spot, or 40-ish?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Because I'm not there yet. I'm only like about 80.
Well, you know what they say, according to Twitter, everybody's making 100K.
Everybody rich on Twitter.
Yeah, I ain't
everybody rich on Twitter. But
we should put that on the shirt too. Everybody's rich on Twitter.
Everybody rich on Twitter. Bars. I like it.
Yeah, that is good. But yeah,
Raphael, we got to start doing this more often, man. We got to go live on YouTube. Like, I'm trying to do it every night. Like every single night, live on YouTube. We could build up that whole following just by showing up. We got to figure out how to go live on 2 pages though, because I don't like this.
So what y'all live on?
On YouTube right now.
Yeah, we live on
Tweet Talk page. My personal page is almost to 5,000 subscribers, and if we would have put this on there, I'd have been at 5,000 subscribers.
That's fire.
All right, we gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. But back to the small gaps becoming big gaps. People, you gotta keep that in mind, man.
You said small gaps become big gaps.
Big gaps, yeah. Like,
you
know what I'm saying? Like, you might think you barely ahead of somebody, or
people be separating themselves.
Yeah. So you gotta think about that on those cold nights. Not literally cold, but them lonely nights when you at that computer doing your thing, working on your business, working on your trades, doing the research, looking up stocks, you know what I'm saying?
See that part.
Building your social media, and it don't seem like you're getting that traction that you think you should be getting. Crazy. But then you look up 6 months later, even 6 months later, you start to see that you're separating. Sometimes you gotta look back at what you got. Sometimes you gotta compare yourself to yourself, and look back. Even like 6 months ago, like where was I?
You talking regular right now? Like I should be in awe right now. I'm maintaining my sanity. Like, I ain't gonna say sanity, but it's like, yo, it just don't. It's not even like real right now that I'm even on y'all podcast. I'm super humble. Like by this experience right now. It's crazy. And that's the testament to what you're saying. It's like the things that you're doing, you might not see it paying off in the immediate. But if you keep your vision and keep going, when people don't see it, it's like stuff happens exponentially without it just adds up, like you said.
Man, I remember one time I was like listening to one of the recordings, and I'm like, man, I got some work to do, like on my speaking. Like, it's like, man, I'm really not there. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm really not there. This is like maybe a year. This might be like about a year into it. And then, like a couple of days, like the next day or the same day, maybe I started listening to one of the first 10 episodes, like one of the very early episodes, and I heard myself talking. I was like, damn, I came a long way.
Yeah, you see it.
I was like, man, It was, and I didn't even notice it because I just kept doing it.
Repetition.
Just kept doing it.
What Bull said? He said practice makes, and he stopped. He said practice makes what? The crowd says perfect. He's like, nah, see, you need to delete that. I think that's
I just saw that yesterday.
Voiceover. Yeah,
Les Brown
makes progress.
Yeah, I just saw that yesterday. Les Brown, old Les Brown speech.
Yeah, practice make progress. You know what I'm saying? So as you practice, and that comes from starting though. You got to start. Could that be that major hurdle that stop people? It's that hurdle of starting. It's like
right,
but they don't realize that's the thing. You got to start.
Yeah, it's like we always say.
See later.
Yeah, we always say get started, get fancy later, and I think we was on one of the calls.
With a shirt. With a shirt, Raph. With a shirt, Raph.
Right now we're in the Twig Talk one.
Oh, all right. Okay.
It's over there. It's over there somewhere. And I was like, I think we were on one of the mastermind calls, and I was saying, like, we all heard it. One of the keys to growing your business is being consistent. But I was like, before you can get consistent, you gotta get started.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get started before you get consistent, and too many people just not getting started at all. And that's the real problem.
Yeah, but guess what? It's not 100% their fault for not getting started.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that knows that people are, for whatever reason, they don't feel as though they're worthy. They don't feel as though their information is valid. They have all these feelings about themselves that's not really like, they're not legitimate, but they feel this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that live. That's why people live for today. They don't think about tomorrow. Why should I save some money for tomorrow when they don't think they're going to live till tomorrow? So we have a lot of that going on in the inner city on various levels. Just like create a product. Create generational wealth for who? I'm about to die maybe tomorrow. Like, why should I create a digital product? Why should I start investing for my future family? What future family? I might not have a future family. So people that look like us are thinking along those lines from where I'm from. I'm from Trenton, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And it's the ghetto. So you got people in there, even that have jobs that still don't feel worthy that their skill sets can be monetized. That's where we're at. And I had to have a little conversation with my mom and aunt during Thanksgiving, like, yo, like you working these 2-3 jobs, they paying you all this money to work for them. How about you monetize what you know how to do for them? What they ask you about all the time, what they hire you for. Document that and build something.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, we don't feel as though we're worthy to do it.
That's crazy because you were saying, people don't see themselves being alive. And my initial thought is like, people, especially people in the streets, like they're like, it's kind of like Jay-Z had a lyric talking about in the streets we making out our wills at 18.
Right. That was 96, 97.
Yeah, that's been reasonable doubt, so they can't even see themselves living past 25. But then I think about it, like you said, even people with regular jobs in the hood, like they're not in the streets. They know they're not going to get popped tomorrow, most likely. They're not scared for their life like that, but they still can't see. They still can't see that they can be sitting on $1 million. At least they can sit on a couple mil in 20,
That's
30
why
years.
my first book, before I even got into technique, half of the book was mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing is, if you don't get the mindset thing right, how to do the shit I'm talking about ain't gonna do you no good.
Hey Charles, what was your first What was your first course? Was it the course, not the book, but like what the course? Was it the long distance real estate?
Probably so.
Or LLC? Oh,
it was probably long distance real estate. Yeah.
What was your feeling before you started recording? Like your feelings.
Interestingly enough, I never felt like I could teach. Well, I wouldn't say that.
See what I'm saying? Even the OG felt like that. Look,
I started teaching on somebody else's platform. I started teaching on Andre's platform, and probably somebody else's platform too. I was on the Hood Estate, so I taught like a course on the LOCs for Hood Estates. I had taught a course on real estate for Andre, and it wasn't even the long distance real estate investing course. It was the investing as a group. And I was like, you know what? My next course is long distance real estate investing. And I was supposed to do it on his, and we kind of disagreed on the terms. I wanted more equity. I didn't just want to be paid for my content. He just wanted to pay per video. I was like, nah, I want a percentage of the upside. And it was his platform, so he wasn't really willing to do that. And so I was like, well, I guess I got to just take my talents to South Beach and launch it on my own. I already had the slides ready to go. I recorded it for myself. I launched it. People bought it. I was selling it for like $100, and I sold 10 copies, made $1,000. I was like, man, like.
In what time frame you made that 1,000?
It was like a day. It wasn't long at all. I put it up. I was like, I'm selling 10 copies of this. My long distance real estate investing course. I thought it was fire. I knew it was fire. I made $1,000. And then I kept selling it. And then I created some other content. And then that's when I created I forgot what I called it. It was like the Black Wealth package or something, like the Black Wealth bundle. So it was like the long distance real estate investing as a group, and how to form your LLC. And I dropped it down for $50. And I was like, man, this is so much value. And that was the first day that I made $2,000 in a day. And I was like, they couldn't tell me nothing.
How many followers did you have?
I didn't have what I have now. I probably had a fraction of it, maybe like 20,000 followers. I still had a pretty decent following.
Decent amount. Yeah,
I still had a pretty decent following. But that was when I started doing $50 Friday. And that Friday I made like $2,000. And then I just started running sales every single Friday. So my goal was just to get one sale a day. If I got like $100, $200 every single day, I was happy. I was like, let me just replace the job income for the day and then run it up on that Friday. And then that Friday I ran it up, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Started paying off credit cards, doing some things like that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I really wanted to ask you about that whole feeling thing, because I mean, when I dropped this course, the podcast star course, is like I drag my feet because I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. Like I don't think nobody want to hear from me. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, and drag my feet, and then it was like, well, I gotta put something out. And then I figured out, like, I was like, man, how am I gonna do these slides? I was stressing over everything. And then I figured out the slides. I'm like, man, this thing ain't even that hard. And the funny thing is, I went back and looked at other people's courses, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't as impressive as they kind of pictured it in my brain. Mm-hmm. Like, they created some slides, they presented it, and they just presented the information.
Yeah, I would say sometimes watching other people's courses does help you make your own course. I was watching Terry's course, and I saw she was just including like live coaching calls in her course. And I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. Started including some coaching calls in my course, added extra videos. And I was like, yeah. So it's like you have a conversation with somebody and you're talking about that topic. And if it's relevant, that could be extra content for your course. It doesn't have to be highly produced, super whatever. You add more value. I think it's getting about that time, brother. You got a few more tweets, or you want to do some quick fires? No long drawn out. Yeah, let's.
I got one more. You said I would argue that what most people call money management is poverty management. You don't really get into managing money until you have something worth managing.
Yeah. there's like this myth that I remember I was watching this movie.
Whew.
And there's this movie, I think it was on Netflix, and there was this black dude, and he was in like some inner city area, and he was helping people buy homes. It was like a dating movie, and he was dating this chick, and his job was like he worked with helping to provide affordable housing or something along those lines. Anyway, there was this movie? I don't even know the name of the movie.
Okay,
I couldn't even tell you. I forgot. But basically, they're essentially saying like the people who were getting kicked out of the area needed just financial literacy. And I was like, that is crazy to me that they're getting kicked out because they can't afford to live there because their income is not high enough. And you're telling them that all they need is financial literacy to get there. This is important because, like we said before, they don't have to use racism anymore. They just use prices. And so if they determine how much something costs and they also determine how much you get paid, then therefore they determine where you live. And my thing is that it's ignorant to say that people just need financial literacy. Why does Charles push business? Because I don't want your income to be controlled by somebody who doesn't love you. I want your income to be controlled by you and your abilities, because people have ulterior motives. I always tell people that the person who's selling you the home is also the person who's selling you the home is homies with the dude who built the home, or the person who owns the firm that hires you. Like, they all homies. They just be chilling in the back.
I heard that bar.
Looking at their watch collection and stuff. They all and the crazy part about it is I was like, we need to create something like that. I was like,
for sure.
I was like, folks need to start linking up and making moves on the low. Like, I was like, it's like a mastermind that nobody knows exists, and we deny it if they ask. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And we over here just making moves, just pushing like, all right, you do this way, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this way, blah, 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 blah. And we're just moving. And if anybody was like, oh, you must be working with, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And that's what they do to us.
Yeah. So, I'm 100 with all of that. And it's just super dope to link up with you guys, man. I super appreciate the mastermind. Because it's like I said, I was on an island for a while. I got friends that support what I got going on, family members that's coming around. Oh, could you do my portfolio too? They're coming around now, and for a long time it was just me. You know what I'm saying? And it's super dope to rub shoulders with people that think like you. So yeah, I super appreciate this opportunity to come shop and shuffle, man. Hopefully we can do another one.
Raphael, what was that tweet again?
It was, I would argue that what most people call money management is poverty management.
Right. And so basically where I was going with that is, so I had some stuff that I was looking at, and I was like, man, I want to invest this cash. I want to move this cash over here. And I got this stuff over here. And I was like, I need to invest that. And I was like, I never really had to manage money until I had money. Everything else was just like trying to make it to the next payday. And a lot of folks, that's their situation. They're just trying to make sure that they got enough money to eat, enough money to put gas in the car, enough money to make the minimum payment on their credit card. And that's what we call a money management. That ain't money management. That is not financial literacy. That is not personal finance. Money management is when you got 50 grand, you got to figure out, am I going to crack this in half and put it in an index fund? Am I going to crack this in half, put it into a rental property? Am I going to buy a few Turo? That's money management. That other stuff, you ain't managing no money. What?
Yeah, but you know what?
When you managing poverty, you managing barely enough.
When I tweeted that, I was reading Money Masters the Game. And that was a quote, because I'm almost getting to the end of this, John. Y'all need to go get this. I ain't getting paid off this, but go get this. Hell yeah, I've been reading this shit for like a month. But I just came across that, so that's what made me tweet it. And I agree with that, because people be scared to invest money because they think they are unsure of what's coming in. they don't know if they're going to get any more, right? So they're managing their money based off poverty, off of a scarcity mindset. If you think in abundance, what can I create? How could I make more money? Not I can't, but how can I? The creator mindset, it's a totally different way of thinking, and it'll open up a whole new world to you when you start thinking, create in an abundance versus, let me hold on to this because I'm not getting any more. So that's what I meant by that.
We're talking about the money management. It's really emotional management.
No,
that's what you said.
That's what I said.
You got to tweet.
Yeah, because people are emotional about their money.
Right. I agree with that.
So, that's what it is. The money is attached to your emotions. So that's where I got that from.
I
emotional.
Another thing that happens when you don't got a lot of money is it's a lot of like tugging, because it's like you want to be able to get nice things, but you don't really have a lot of money to have nice things. And so you should be saving and investing that money. So like when I was like working a job and I was like scraping by, man, that used to be the struggle. I used to be like, man, I really want those sneakers. Man, I really want to go out to dinner, whatever. You out there just
How old were you?
I don't even know, man.
Because that plays a part too.
Right. Mindset. It does. 100%. I'll say definitely like college aged, and like when I remember when I first got out of college, I was wilding out. I first got out of college.
You know what I'm saying?
I was working full time. It's funny because my wife was my girlfriend back then, and we was just wilding out.
That's fire.
We was going out to dinner all the time. It was wilding out. I look back on that time.
That's dope, though, man.
How long life is?
Yeah, it is, right? I'm like, yo, what? 43? I don't feel it.
Take us out, Raphael. We need to do these. We need to do these live on YouTube, man, every day. If you want to be successful, Raphael, you got to show up every day. You can't be over here showing up when you want to show up every day.
Raph, man, what you do, man?
Every day.
What do you do for work, Raph?
Oh, operations analyst.
Operations analyst? You like a dispatcher?
No. For I don't want to talk about it.
You can't say the name of the company.
I could.
I don't know the name of the company, but
I could, but I don't like mentioning.
I've been talking to Raphael doing this for 2 years. I have no idea what Raphael does.
Nah, he like Tommy from Martin. Like
I have no idea I have no idea. Tommy, he knows everything about me. He is like Tommy. I work
over at the spot over there where you drop me off at. Like over there, like Raph, where you work, bro?
Right.
I work over there.
At least I'm not bro man for the 4th floor.
All right, take us out, Raph.
Oh man.
Yeah, you wanted them jokes.
Be sure to follow us on social media, folks. Follow us on Instagram at Tweet Talk Podcast. Follow Charles on Instagram at Todd Billion and also at Todd.capital. Follow us on Twitter at Tweet Talk Pod. That's POD. Follow Charles on Twitter at Real Todd Billion. Follow myself on Twitter at Work Money Life. And be sure to follow our guest, Don Bucks of Rappin Doe. Follow him.
At Rappin Doe. My bad. I ain't even cut you off. It's at Rappin, RAPPIN _DOUGH. Holla.
Yep. And on Twitter is without the underscore. For episode 112 of Tweet Talk, the Black Wealth Podcast. For myself, Raphael, and my co-host Charles, and our guest Don Bucks, we are out. Peace.
I thought you were leaving with the tweet, brother.
Man, I use them all up, yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna leave you with a tweet from Charles, and it goes a little something like this. Grab the Turo Boss course. Regular price $150 today, $49. There's only like 5 left. But also join the mastermind. If you're not in the mastermind, join the mastermind. No discount code. Just click the link in the bio. It's lit. We in there every day, Monday through Thursday. We got speakers who talk on sales, content creation, accountability. And we also have myself, and we just be talking about a roundtable discussion type deal. And we have guest speakers that pop in there every now and then who talk about a lot of really dope stuff. So make sure you guys come in. It's lit. Let me find a tweet. I really do got a tweet, though. We got to start promoting that more. We got to be heavy on the monetization, Raphael. What's really going on? Heavy on the monetization. What my tweets at?
We going heavy. We going heavy.
What tweets?
This guy, man.
Monetization. Still.
Dang. I don't got no dope tweets. I'll just say that
you got one.
I don't see no
Come
tweets.
On.
One thing I will say is yeah, we're gonna call it a day. I can't find nothing. It's hard finding tweets because I got so much promo.
Yeah, a lot of automations going on, man.
Yeah.
We out here, like, I mean, these internet streets heavy, like.
Well, I'm gonna leave you.
This is my last tweet. The financially free urge to not stress about your housing expense because it's paid for by dividends and on auto pay from the brokerage account. Tweet. Me out.
Peace.
All right, y'all.
Damn.
All right, bro. Have a good night.